Hello, hello, hello! Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I am your host, Jack. It is a beautiful day to learn some English, isn't it?
Hi guys, this is me, Emma. Yes, it is a beautiful day, Jack, but I have to be honest with you. I am feeling a little bit lazy today.
Lazy? Oh no, Emma. Why are you feeling lazy? Did you have a busy weekend?
Actually, no, I just stayed in bed too long this morning. It was so warm and cozy under my blanket, I really did not want to get up. But I am here now.
I am very glad you are here, and I think today's topic is perfect for you, especially if you are feeling a bit lazy or tired, because today we are doing something we all have to do. We are going grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping. Oh, I love food, but sometimes I hate shopping. It can be so much work. You have to walk around, push the heavy cart, and wait in line.
That is true, but going to the supermarket is one of the most important things you do in a new country. If you are learning English, the supermarket is like a big classroom. There are words everywhere.
You are right. I remember when I first traveled to London, I went to the supermarket to buy milk, but I bought cream instead. It was a disaster. I put cream in my tea. It was so thick.
That is a funny story, Emma, but it happens to everyone. That is why today we are going to walk through the entire supermarket experience together. We will talk about the different sections, how to ask for help, and how to pay at the end.
That sounds really helpful. I need this practice. Sometimes when I go to the store, I feel a little bit overwhelmed.
Oh, that's a good word, overwhelmed. But Emma, can you explain what that means for our listeners?
Yes, of course. Overwhelmed means you have too much pressure or too many feelings. You feel like, oh no, this is too much for me. When I see 50 different types of cheese, I feel overwhelmed. I don't know which one to choose.
Perfect explanation. It is a feeling of stress when there are too many options. Don't worry, Emma. By the end of this episode, you will feel confident, not overwhelmed.
I hope so. I want to be a confident shopper.
You will be. And for everyone listening, we have a special surprise for you. If you hear some difficult words today, don't worry.
Yes, please stay with us until the very end. We have a special vocabulary breakdown coming up after our chat. We will explain the hardest words so you can remember them forever.
Exactly. It's the best way to grow your vocabulary. So, are you ready to start our imaginary shopping trip, Emma?
I am ready. I have my imaginary shopping bag right here. Let's go.
Okay, let's imagine we are walking up to the automatic doors. They slide open and we step inside. What is the first thing you usually see?
Usually I see the shopping carts and the baskets. And this is where I have my first problem, Jack. I never know which one to take.
I have seen people do that. They are walking around the store leaning to one side because their basket is overflowing. It looks like a hard workout at the gym.
It really is. I feel so silly. I am standing in the middle of the aisle with a heavy basket looking at the watermelons, and I realize I made a big mistake, but I'm too lazy to walk back to the entrance to get a cart.
Well, let's pretend we have a big cart today so we can buy everything we need. We are walking into the first section. Usually that is the produce section. Do you like this part of the store, Emma?
I do. It is so colorful. Produce is a funny word, though. It just means fruits and vegetables, right?
Exactly. It refers to things that are grown. I love the smell of the fresh herbs and the bright colors of the bell peppers. It makes me feel healthy just looking at it.
I try to be healthy, Jack. I really do. I go to the produce section and I buy a big bag of kale and some organic carrots. I feel like a superstar. But then, a week later, I find the kale in the back of my fridge. It is all yellow and sad. I feel so guilty.
We call that aspirational shopping. You buy the person you want to be, not the person you are. We all do it. I once bought a whole pineapple because it looked beautiful, but then I realized I had no idea how to cut it. It sat on my counter for 10 days like a decoration.
That is so relatable. Cutting a pineapple is like a math problem. It is too difficult. But I have a question about the produce section. Sometimes the vegetables are not in bags. Do I have to put them in those tiny plastic bags myself?
You can, but many people now bring their own reusable mesh bags. It is better for the environment. And here's a tip. If you're buying bananas, you don't really need a bag at all. They already have their own thick skin to keep them clean.
Oh, that is smart. I never thought about that. Okay, so we have our fruits and veggies. Now, I always get lost in the middle of the store. All the aisles look the same to me.
The middle aisles are where they keep the shelf-stable items, things in cans, boxes, and jars. This is where you find the pasta, the rice, and the beans.
And the snacks. That is my favorite aisle, but also my most dangerous aisle. I tell myself, Emma, just one bag of potato chips, but then I see the chocolate and the crackers. It's like the snacks are calling my name.
It's a trap. The supermarkets are designed to make you stay longer. They put the most important things, like milk and eggs, at the very back of the store.
Wait, really? Is that why I have to walk past the cookies and the soda just to get a carton of eggs? That is sneaky.
It is very sneaky. It's a marketing strategy. They want you to see more products so you spend more money. It's almost inevitable that you will buy something you didn't plan to.
Inevitable? That sounds like a fancy word. What does inevitable mean, Jack?
It means that something is certain to happen. You cannot stop it. Like, if you go to the store hungry, it is inevitable that you will buy too much food.
Oh, I know that feeling very well. I went shopping yesterday right before dinner. I was starving. I bought 3 frozen pizzas and a giant tub of ice cream. My cart was full of junk food.
That is the golden rule of grocery shopping. Never shop on an empty stomach. You should always have a snack before you go. It helps you stay focused on your list.
I try to make a list, but I usually lose it. I write it on a small piece of paper, put it in my pocket, and then it disappears. Then I stand in the middle of the aisle, staring at the shelves, trying to remember if I have sugar at home.
I use my phone for my list now. It's much harder to lose your phone than a piece of paper. Plus, you can check things off as you go. It feels very satisfying.
That is a good idea. I should try that. But even with a list, I get confused by the labels. Low fat, no sugar added, natural flavors. It's like a different language inside the English language.
It can be confusing. My advice for beginners is to look at the unit price. It's usually a small number on the shelf tag that tells you how much the food cost per ounce or per gram. It helps you see if the big size is actually a better deal.
Wow, Jack, you are like a professional shopper. I just look at the bright colors and the cute pictures on the box.
Well, I've had a lot of practice. Now let's talk about the service counters, like the deli or the butcher. Do you ever feel nervous talking to the people working there?
Yes, I am terrified of the deli counter. There are usually people waiting behind me, and I feel pressured to speak fast. I worry that if I ask for 300 grams of ham, I will say the number wrong and walk away with 3 kilograms of ham.
Don't be afraid, Emma. The workers are there to help. If you're unsure, you can just point. Or you can say, "Can I have a small amount of this, please?" You don't always need to use perfect numbers.
That makes me feel better. I think I'm just afraid of making a mistake and looking silly.
We all make mistakes. I once asked for a pound of onions at a bakery. The lady just looked at me and said, "Sir, this is a cake shop." I turned bright red.
That is so relatable. See, even the guide makes mistakes. That makes me feel much more comfortable. I think I'm ready to move to the dairy section now. I need to get my milk, and this time I will make sure it is not cream.
The dairy section is usually the coldest part of the store, isn't it? Every time I stand there trying to choose a yogurt, I start shivering.
It is freezing. I think they do that on purpose so we don't spend too much time reading the labels. But honestly, Jack, the dairy section gives me a lot of anxiety. There are so many choices now. Whole milk, 2% milk, almond milk, oat milk, soy milk. I just stand there staring at the cartons.
I understand that. It's funny how a simple task like buying milk can feel so heavy. It's not just about the milk, is it? It's the fear of making the wrong choice or feeling like you don't know enough.
Exactly. And I feel like everyone is watching me. I feel like a bad adult because I don't know which milk is best for my coffee. I worry that the person behind me is thinking, why is she taking so long to pick a milk?
You know, Emma, that is a very common feeling. It's called the spotlight effect. It's when we think everyone is looking at us and noticing our mistakes, but really everyone is just thinking about their own shopping lists.
The spotlight effect? That makes so much sense. I feel like there's a big bright light on me and everyone can see I am confused, especially when I am in a country where English is the main language. I feel like if I hesitate, people will think I don't belong there.
That is a very vulnerable thing to share, Emma. Thank you. I want to tell you and everyone listening that it is okay to take your time. You have a right to be in the store just as much as anyone else. If you need to spend 5 minutes translating a label on your phone, that is perfectly fine.
I actually did that once. I was trying to buy flour, but I didn't know the difference between plain flour and self-raising flour. I stood there with my phone, trying to translate, and my hands were actually shaking a little bit. I felt so small.
Ah, Emma, I wish I could have been there to help you. It's important to remember that confidence isn't the absence of fear. Confidence is being nervous and doing the shopping anyway. You still bought the flour, right?
I did. I guessed. I picked the blue bag. It turned out to be the right one. And I made some okay cookies. They were a little flat, but they tasted good.
See, you survived. We often build up these monsters in our heads. We think a mistake at the supermarket is a huge disaster, but really, it's just a funny story for later. The psychological pressure we put on ourselves is usually much bigger than the actual problem.
You're right. I think I need to be more resilient. Is that the right word?
Resilient is a perfect word, but it's a bit of a big one. Can you tell us what you think it means?
To me, being resilient means that even if you have a hard time or feel embarrassed, you bounce back. You don't let it stop you from going back to the store the next day.
Spot on. Resilience is like a muscle. Every time you go to the store and handle a difficult situation, like not finding the eggs or having to ask a worker for help, your muscle gets stronger.
I hope my grocery muscle gets very big then, because sometimes I still get a little scared when I have to talk to the cashier. I think about the conversation in my head over and over. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. No, I don't need a bag.
I do that too. Even though English is my first language, I sometimes rehearse what I'm going to say. It's a way to feel in control. But you know what? Sometimes the cashier says something totally different, like, the weather is crazy today, isn't it? And then my whole plan disappears.
Yes, that is the worst. I have my script ready in my brain, and then they change the script. I just blink and say, yes, bread, please. It doesn't even make sense.
And that is okay. Most people are kind. If you say something a little strange, they usually just smile and move on. They aren't going to go home and tell their family about the girl who said bread when they talked about the rain.
That is true. I need to stop being so hard on myself. I'm learning, and learning is messy. It's like a kitchen after you cook a big meal. It's messy, but the food is worth it.
What a beautiful metaphor, Emma. Learning is messy, but the results are delicious. So, next time you feel that anxiety rising in the cereal aisle, just take a deep breath. Remember that you are a brave learner and you were just there to buy some flakes.
A brave learner buying cornflakes. I like that image. It makes me feel much more powerful.
You are powerful, and you're doing a great job. Why don't we move toward the checkout now? I think our imaginary cart is getting pretty full.
Okay, but let's go to the self-checkout. It's less scary because I don't have to talk to a human.
Actually, let's try the regular line today. I think we can handle it together. Okay, we are standing in the line now. While we wait for the person in front of us to finish, let's talk to our friends listening at home.
Oh, I love this part. I want to know about your shopping habits. Everyone is so different when they go to the supermarket.
Exactly. So we have a question for all of you. Are you A, a list maker who writes down every single item and never buys anything extra? B, a browser who walks through every aisle and buys whatever looks delicious. Or C, an online shopper who prefers to buy everything on a phone and wait for it to arrive at the door.
I am definitely a mix of B and C. I love browsing, but if I'm feeling especially lazy or overwhelmed, I just use the app on my phone. Tell us in the comments which letter you are, A, B, or C. We really want to know how you handle your groceries.
It's so interesting to see the answers. Some people are very organized and others are more spontaneous. But no matter how you shop, the goal is the same: getting the food you need while practicing your English.
We have talked about a lot today, Jack. We started at the entrance with our heavy baskets, walked through the colorful produce section, and even survived the cold dairy aisle.
We really did. We talked about aspirational shopping, the sneaky tricks supermarkets use to make us walk more, and how to handle that feeling of anxiety when we're in a crowded place.
I think the most important thing I learned today is that it's okay to be a brave learner. Even if I make a mistake at the deli or say the wrong thing to the cashier, it's not a disaster. It's just part of the journey.
That is the perfect mindset, Emma. Progress is not about being perfect. Progress is about showing up, even when you feel a little bit scared or lazy. Every time you read a label or ask, "Where is the salt?" you are becoming a better English speaker.
Thank you, Jack. I feel much more motivated now. I might actually go to the real supermarket after we finish recording this. I won't even be afraid of the flower aisle.
That's the spirit. Just remember to take a breath and be patient with yourself. You're doing something difficult, learning a whole new language, and you're doing it well.
I'm ready. Look, the cashier is waving at us. It's our turn.
Here we go. Let's put our items on the belt. After we pay, we're going to head over to a very important part of our show.
That's right. It's almost time for the vocabulary breakdown. We're going to look at those tricky words we use today and make sure everyone understands them perfectly.
I'll see you there in just a moment. And we are back. We have finished our shopping, the bags are in the car, and now it is time for my favorite part of the episode.
It is time for the vocabulary breakdown. Today, we are joined by our friend Charlotte. She is an expert at making difficult words feel very simple. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Jack. Hi, Emma. I was listening to your conversation, and you used some fantastic B2 and C1 words today. Let's look at 6 of them so our listeners can use them too.
I'm ready with my notebook. What is the first one?
The first word is overwhelmed. Emma, you used this when you saw 50 types of cheese. Overwhelmed is a feeling you get when something is too much to handle. For example, I have so much homework, I feel overwhelmed.
Oh, I feel that every Monday morning. What is the second word?
The second one is inevitable. Jack mentioned that buying extra snacks is inevitable. This means something is 100% certain to happen. You cannot avoid it. For example, if you don't study, it is inevitable that the exam will be hard.
That is a very strong word. I like it. Inevitably, I will eat the chocolate I bought.
Exactly. Perfect sentence, Emma. Word number 3 is optimistic. This is when you believe good things will happen. Emma thought she only needed a small basket because she was being optimistic. Example, she is optimistic that the weather will be sunny for the picnic.
I am always optimistic until my basket gets too heavy. What's next?
Next is resilient. We talked about being a resilient learner. This means you are able to become strong or happy again after something difficult happens. Example, even though he lost the game, he was resilient and practiced harder the next day.
I'm working on my resilient muscles every day.
Good. Word number 5 is produce. In a supermarket, produce is a noun. It means fresh fruits and vegetables. Example, the produce in this market is always very fresh and local.
And the last one?
The last one is spontaneous. Jack used this to describe shoppers who don't have a list. Spontaneous means doing something suddenly without planning it first. Example, we didn't plan a trip, we just took a spontaneous drive to the beach.
I love being spontaneous, but maybe not with my money. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Those definitions were so clear.
Thanks, Charlotte. And thank you, Emma, for being so honest about your shopping fears today. To everyone listening, remember, your progress doesn't end here. Every time you step into a store, it's a new chance to practice.
Yes, don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all do. We are so proud of you for finishing this episode. You are one step closer to being a confident English speaker.
We will see you in the next episode for more cozy conversations. Until then, stay curious and keep practicing.
Bye-bye, everyone. Happy shopping.
Goodbye.